In layman's terms, Polkadot would be similar to WordPress or Wix, where if you wanted to create a website, but you didn't want to go through all the loopholes like learning HTML and coding in JavaScript, you would just use one of these quick resources. Polkadot works in the same way as WordPress, where if you wanted to create a blockchain, and it already has these presettings, palettes, where you can decide to use them or not, similar to how WordPress has templates. And the advantages of Polkadot is its leadership, its blockchain maximalism concept, as well as, like I said earlier, the palettes and the usability. And the challenge, of course, is wider adoption. So what is blockchain maximalism? It's the belief that there will be an ecosystem of blockchains rather than certain projects ruling them all. So Polkadot is an ecosystem for dApps with universal interoperability. So during generation 1, Litecoin and Zcash used Bitcoin as a fork because there was no easy way to create your own blockchain at the time. So pretty much all the projects had to use Bitcoin as a parent cash. So in generation 2, we switched over to Ethereum, as a lot of you guys know. However, it has the limitations of scalability, interoperability, and security. Gavin Wood, who is the founder of Polkadot, was once the partner and the founder of Ethereum, and Polkadot is what he thought Ethereum should have been. One of the main goals of Polkadot is to have heterogeneous chains. In English, pretty much means universally understandable to have interoperability. And the reason why current blockchains aren't interoperable is because the ground layer consensus mechanisms are all different. So essentially what Polkadot did was they decoupled the state transition mechanism from consensus mechanism, Bay and Grandpa. And that's why the consensus layer is not stored on layer 1 and it's on the relay chain. And I'll explain that in further detail later. What is SUB-STRATE? So SUB-STRATE is pretty much a sandbox for dApps, and it essentially makes making your own blockchain easier with pre-existing modules. So developer framework is where they excel at and have great usability for smaller scales solutions. And for smaller, I mean projects that need permission, so it's not completely decentralized. So just to give an example, like let's say you wanted real-time consensus, you can just turn that on. And you already have that. You don't have to go through all the mess of creating one yourself. And they're forkless and they're able to upgrade, not like Ethereum where it has to fork and has to go to Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. And like I said earlier, these modules are called palettes, but a fancier way to say it is frame library. And let's talk about Rust. And Rust is a no-time new generation code, and it's robust and it avoids bugs. And so just to talk about how Rust is used in Polkadot, so palettes are based on Rust and SUB-STRATEs are based on Rust, but Polkadot is based on SUB-STRATE. So in essence, if I didn't know anything about blockchain and I wanted to create one, the business logic is what would make the blockchain unique. So going back to my analogy with WordPress, I don't have any coding experience, but I want to create a website. Whatever basic website I do create, it's the idea and the branding and the marketing, which is going to create the differentiating factor in the market. That's my quick explainer of Polkadot. I wanted to make this as simple as possible, so I left out a lot of the details. I'm going to be making more videos on the details such as the architecture in later videos. However, I thought this was enough information for one video. Now, like I said earlier, the advantages of Polkadot is the fact that it has great leadership, former founder of Ethereum, blockchain maximalism, which allows it to focus on interoperability, and SUB-STRATEs, which makes it easier for the user to create blockchains. And Polkadot's going to face the same challenges as Cardano and Ethereum, and that's whether or not it can get wide adoption.